For some people, it might be hard to believe that you can really take just a few minutes in the evening and look at the information that VantagePoint presents and make your trading decisions for the next day, but it really is that simple, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that today. So what I want to do is I like mining companies, so we're going to focus on a couple of gold-based companies, just to show you an example. It doesn't matter if it's Forex, if it's futures markets, ETFs, U.S. stocks, Canadian stocks. We forecast for a whole host of different markets and stocks from across the world, as you can see. What we're looking at here is we're looking at the predicted moving average, which is the blue line. The black line is an actual moving average. And what we're really doing here is we're looking for a couple of things. We're looking for, one, the predicted moving average value to be greater than the actual moving average value, and that would be visually plotted where the blue line would be above the black line like it is here. When you see that, that's your indication that the trend is expected to go up. So as you can see right here, you had a crossover. That's your first indication that this particular stock is expected, with a high degree of accuracy, to begin trending up. The next thing you want to look at is you want to look to see what the differential between those two lines are. So for example, the wider the gap, as you can see over here, the gap widened between the blue line and the black line. That's telling you that not only is the trend expected to go up, but it's expected to go up with some nice velocity. In contrast, you can see earlier in the trade, the blue and the black line, they were very tight, very close together. That still means the trend is expected to go up, but not with the same velocity as you can see when the lines widened. Now, another thing that the software is going to do besides tell you the trend direction as well as the strength of the trend is you'll notice that once you're in a position, even if the market looks like it's starting to reverse, like it is over here, you know, market went up, made some nice money, then the market starts coming down pretty sharply, actually. Had a couple of really big down days. You can see the blue line actually did start heading down. The blue and the black lines did start to converge, but there was not a cross. That means that these are probably just a couple of down days in an overall uptrend. A lot of traders who don't have VantagePoint would probably have gotten out thinking it was the end of a trade, maybe even gone short, in which case, as you can see, they would have lost money. But VantagePoint, because it's not just looking at this one stock in isolation, it's looking at all of the factors that drive and impact this stock. VantagePoint says, no, this trend isn't over. These are just a couple of down days in an uptrend. It's just a blip. Stay in there and you'll be rewarded. And as you can see, look what the market did. It just shot right up. You had 4 big up days right after that. It's a beautiful thing. On top of that, we also have another indicator down below called the neural index, and it's either a 1 or a 0. And when it's a 1, that's indicating the trend is expected to go up. When it's a 0, that's indicating that the trend's expected to go down. Now you'll notice during the course of this uptrend, and if you had taken this trade and you were in a long position, there were times when the neural index went down to a 0. Here, 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 very minimally. But what that's indicating to you is that there's going to be weakness. Everybody knows there's always going to be weakness, even if it's an overall uptrend. But what's nice about this is you know about that ahead of time. You're never caught off guard. And that way, if you do see a couple of down days and you're in a long position, you say, well, I knew that was coming because the neural index told me that. And that way, you're just more prepared, more confident when it happens. Really nice trade, really nice indication by VantagePoint that this trade was going to go up. A lot of people don't make money when the markets are going down, and that's a real mistake on their part. If you know the market's going to go down ahead of time, before it goes down, you can position yourself to profit from that. And again, you're looking at just the reverse. When the blue line was to cross below the black line, that's your indication that the trend's expected to go down. And you want the neural index to primarily be at a position of 0. Now, there are times you can see the gap is very wide here, indicating that the trend is expected to not only go down, but go down with a lot of velocity. And sure enough, it did. But then you'll see where the lines start to converge, and that's saying there may be some up days, or at least it may just go sideways, but don't be fooled into thinking that the downtrend is over. It's going to keep going down, and sure enough, it did. So real nice opportunities there. Let's just go back and review a couple of these. So on this first one that I showed you, you had a real nice trade. This was a trade to the upside. You run the profit calc. In 17 trading days, could have made almost $6 a share, $5.66 a share. If you look at that, this is not a very expensive stock. Let's say you had 1,000 shares of this stock. You're talking $5,600 in less than a month of trading. Real sweet opportunity. Let's look at this trade to the downside. This was a nice one because you can see, again, this was a little bit more expensive stock. It was in the 50s, but this one went down over $10 a share in 28 trading days. So it's not hard to recoup the cost of the software when you've got accuracy and consistency like this. Let me show you a couple longer range views, okay? So we're looking at this stock here. You can see there's actually 3 different trades here. You had a nice trade to the downside, you had a nice trade to the upside, another really nice trade to the downside, and you just got a fresh crossover to the upside. Each one of these offered a really nice opportunity. You've got $3.64 a share there in just 5 days. Over in this move right here, you've got another $3.90 a share in 9 days. And this last move to the downside, you've got another $7.02 per share. So, you add it all up. This is why a lot of customers will get the software, and within 30 days, they've not only learned the software, they understand how to use it, but they've implemented it and profited from it. So that's how it works. When you get into a routine and you're looking at this on a nightly basis, it shouldn't take you more than about 10 minutes each evening. And that's how easy it is to profit from the VantagePoint Intermarket Analysis trading software.